The storm raged outside the crumbling castle, its walls trembling, as if the stones themselves remembered secrets long buried. A sudden gust tore through the grand hall, slamming open a hidden door that had been sealed for centuries. Elias, the young mage burdened by a curse, froze as a whisper slid into his mind, cold and venomous. The voice said, "Claim the power, or be forgotten." His breath hitched, and his hand trembled as he reached for the torch. Behind him, shadows stretched unnaturally, twisting like serpents eager to strike. Fear clawed at his chest, but curiosity burned stronger. Elias muttered, "What have I done to deserve this fate?" The echo answered with silence, broken only by the toll of a distant bell that shivered through his bones, as if announcing doom itself. At that moment he understood. His destiny had begun. Elias wandered deeper into the hall, each step echoing like a warning he chose to ignore. His torch barely pierced the shadows, and the air grew colder with every breath. He muttered, "This place remembers what should be forgotten." The walls seemed to lean inward, pressing on him with invisible weight. On a cracked pedestal lay an old grimoire bound in black leather, etched with strange sigils that pulsed faintly as if alive. Elias hesitated, sweat trickling down his temple, then reached toward it. A whisper hissed again, "You are chosen." His hand shook as he withdrew, whispering back, "Chosen or cursed?" His heart pounded, torn between running and surrendering to what waited. The silence pressed tighter, suffocating, until even his breath felt stolen by the shadows. The air shifted, and Elias felt another presence enter the hall. From the shadows emerged Alaric, his old mentor, a man weathered by wisdom and grief. Alaric said, "You should not be here, boy." His voice carried both sorrow and stern warning. Elias turned, trembling, and muttered, "The door opened on its own. I couldn't ignore it." Alaric's gaze hardened as he stepped closer, the light catching his silver hair. He placed a hand on the grimoire without touching it, as though fearing its touch. "This book destroys those who dare read it. I've seen kingdoms fall for less." Elias whispered, "And if it holds the key to ending my curse?" Alaric's eyes darkened. "Every key demands a lock, and every lock a price." The words left Elias hollow. The silence was broken by hurried footsteps echoing down the corridor. From the doorway rushed Mira, Elias's loyal companion, her cloak drenched from the storm. She was breathless but determined. Mira said, "I knew you'd come here. You always chase what should be left behind." Elias turned sharply, startled, but relief softened his gaze. "Mira, you shouldn't have followed." She shot him a glare. "And leave you to face this alone? Never." Alaric's voice cut in coldly. "The more who know, the greater the danger." Mira crossed her arms, stubborn fire in her eyes. "Then I'll share his danger." Elias's chest ached at her loyalty, even as fear warned him it could cost her everything. He whispered, "This path will break us." Mira only said, "Then we break together." Thunder cracked, shaking the stones as a low, mournful toll echoed again from the bell tower outside. The sound froze all three in place. Elias felt it resonate inside his chest, like a summons. Alaric whispered, "It begins." Mira gripped Elias's arm, eyes wide. "What is happening?" Elias could not answer. The shadows thickened, creeping across the floor toward the pedestal. The grimoire pulsed brighter, its light casting unnatural patterns that writhed like living veins across the walls. Elias whispered, "It's calling me." Alaric pulled him back sharply, his voice trembling for the first time. "And if you answer, it will own you." For a moment, Elias stood torn between destiny and fear. Then the wind howled through the shattered windows, scattering torches, plunging the hall into near darkness. The morning sun breaks over the hills, painting the town in soft gold. Elena, 28, walks with determined steps, clutching a folded letter in her hand. Her heart races, but she hides her fear behind a calm face. Children run past, laughing, unaware of her turmoil. She stops at the edge of the cobblestone square, staring at the old courthouse where her father's fate was sealed. The letter trembles in her hand, its ink blurred from the tears she shed the night before. She breathes deeply, whispering to herself, "Today, I start again." The town awakens slowly, merchants lifting shutters and arranging baskets of fruit. Elena watches silently, remembering when her family once owned half these stalls. Now, she walks among strangers, each glance cutting into her pride. She clenches her jaw, straightens her back, and forces herself to keep moving. A man tips his hat politely, but she cannot return the smile. Her voice whispers in her mind, "They took everything, but they cannot take what I will become." She enters the churchyard, its silence broken only by crows circling the bell tower. The air smells of old stone and damp earth. Kneeling by her mother's grave, Elena presses the letter to her chest. Her voice cracks as she whispers, "Forgive me, Mama. I couldn't protect him. But I'll uncover the truth." Tears streak her cheeks, but her jaw hardens, her sorrow burning into determination. The crow's cry echoes like a dark omen overhead. As she leaves the graveyard, an older man blocks her path. Samuel, 52, tall with graying hair and stern eyes, leans on a cane. His voice is low, urgent. "You dig into this, girl, and you'll end up buried beside him." Elena stiffens, her hand tightening on the letter. "I'd rather die chasing the truth than live in silence," she replies. Samuel's eyes soften briefly, then harden again, as if torn between warning her and admiring her resolve. Elena walks away, her steps heavier but her spirit burning brighter. Behind her, Samuel's figure lingers like a shadow. She unfolds the letter once more, the ink words reading, "The truth lies where justice died." She closes her fist, whispering, "Then I'll go where justice ended." The wind whips through her hair, carrying away the last of her fear. A new resolve anchors her heart. She will face what others refuse to see. The town library, dimly lit and smelling of dust, welcomes Elena as she pushes its heavy oak doors open. She scans shelves lined with forgotten records, her fingers trailing across spines worn with age. The silence weighs thick, broken only by the ticking of a grandfather clock. She finds an old ledger, its cover cracked, marked with her father's name. Her breath catches. "They tried to bury this," she whispers, voice trembling, "but truth leaves traces." Elena flips through the ledger, pages brittle under her touch. Names, dates, and debts appear, her father's written in bold ink. A sharp ache fills her chest as she reads. Debt cleared through silence. Rage flickers in her eyes. Her hand trembles, but she forces herself to steady it. She murmurs, "They erased him with lies, but I will write him back into the world." Shadows deepen around her as if the walls themselves share her anger. The librarian, a frail woman in her 60s, appears silently, her gaze sharp despite her age. "That book is not for your hands," she warns. Elena rises, clutching the ledger to her chest. "It belongs to me," she replies firmly, her voice echoing in the empty hall. The woman narrows her eyes, whispering, "The ones who wrote it will not forgive." Elena's breath hitches, but she does not loosen her grip. She steels herself, whispering back, "Neither will I." Elena storms from the library, clutching the ledger under her arm. The streets are now alive with townsfolk, voices overlapping in a rising hum. She weaves through the crowd, ignoring stares and whispers. Children pause mid-play, sensing her urgency. At the far end of the street, Samuel waits, leaning on his cane, eyes heavy with warning. Elena slows only for a breath, then quickens her pace again, determination driving her like fire. She finally reaches Samuel, her breath uneven, her hands gripping the ledger so tightly the edges tear. His eyes sweep the crowd, then return to her with grim certainty. "So you've found it," he mutters. Elena lifts her chin, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "This is only the beginning. They may silence me, but not this truth." Samuel exhales slowly, his face shadowed with both dread and reluctant admiration. The world feels on the cusp of change. Elena descends into the forest as dusk falls, the canopy filtering the fading sunlight, into streaks of amber and green. Her footsteps crunch over dry leaves. Every shadow seems alive, whispering secrets she cannot yet understand. The ledger presses against her chest as though it carries her father's heartbeat. A chill wind brushes her face. She whispers to herself, "The deeper I go, the closer I am to the truth they hid from me." Her heart races, equal parts fear and determination. A sudden rustle draws Elena's attention. From behind an oak emerges a tall, hooded figure, Samuel, 52, graying hair peeking from beneath the hood. "You shouldn't have come here alone," he warns. Elena steps forward, voice steady but tense. "I need answers, and I will not turn back." Samuel studies her, weighing her courage against the dangers she cannot yet see. His eyes soften slightly, acknowledging her resolve, though worry lines his face. They move deeper into the forest, the canopy thickening, darkness creeping around them. Elena whispers over her shoulder. The ledger mentions a hidden glade, a place where the truth was sealed. Samuel nods gravely. "Many have sought it, few returned. You must stay vigilant." A sudden branch snaps nearby. Elena jumps, clutching the ledger tighter. Fear brushes against determination, but she will not falter. Every step pulls her closer to revelations long buried. At last they arrive at the glade, moonlight spilling over a small clearing dotted with ancient stones. "Bye." Elena steps forward cautiously, awe and fear mixing in her expression. Samuel murmurs, "The magic here is older than any law. Be careful what you awaken." The wind stirs, and the ledger vibrates in her hands as if alive. Elena swallows, voice barely a whisper. "Then I will face it, whatever it takes." The forest seems to hold its breath, waiting for her next move. Elena approaches a central stone marked with mysterious runes. The ledger pulses in her hands, warmth spreading through her fingers. She kneels, placing it atop the stone. A low hum rises, filling the glade. Samuel watches silently, tension etched on his face. Elena whispers, "Let the truth be known." The runes flare briefly, casting silver light across her determined face. She feels the weight of generations pressing down, but also the surge of power she must now command. Elena rises as the rune's silver glow intensifies, wrapping the glade in an otherworldly light. Her heartbeat quickens. "I can feel it. The magic is alive," she whispers. Samuel steps closer, eyes narrowing, voice tense. "Careful, Elena. Power like this demands a price." The air shivers as unseen forces stir. Leaves rustle without wind, and shadows stretch unnaturally. She grips the ledger tightly, knowing that once unleashed, there is no turning back. Suddenly, the forest trembles. Roots shift and stones tremble as an ethereal figure emerges from the center of the glade. A guardian spirit, radiant yet formidable, hovers above the stone. Elena gasps, eyes wide with awe. Samuel whispers urgently, "It tests you. Your heart, your intent. One wrong step, and the magic consumes all." Elena exhales, steadying herself. "I am ready. I will face it," she asserts, resolve etched across her young face. The guardian's voice reverberates in Elena's mind. Only the pure of heart may command the forbidden. She swallows, her chest tightening. Memories of her father, her past, and the sacrifices she must make flash before her. Samuel murmurs softly, "Focus, Elena. Let it flow through you, not overwhelm you." She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and raises the ledger. A silver beam shoots skyward, illuminating the forest canopy in blinding brilliance. The forest trembles as Elena channels the magic. Roots lift, stones hover, and wind whirls violently. Samuel yells over the roar, "Do not lose yourself." Elena's eyes glow faintly silver, ledger pulsating like a living heart. She steadies herself, whispering, "I will not falter. I will control it." The guardian watches silently, testing, judging, waiting. The very air hums with power, the price looming, but Elena feels a surge of courage she never knew she possessed. Suddenly, the energy stabilizes. Silence falls heavy and expectant. Elena exhales, sweat beading on her brow, ledger now glowing faintly, calm but alive. Samuel steps forward, eyes filled with cautious relief. You've done it, but remember, power always demands a price. Elena nods slowly, heart still racing, understanding the responsibility she now carries. She gazes at the glade, knowing the path ahead will test every part of her being. Elena returns from the glade, carrying the ledger that pulses faintly with residual magic. The forest is quieter, yet tension lingers. Samuel follows closely, eyes scanning every shadow. Elena murmurs, I've felt the power, but it whispers of danger. Samuel warns, the magic does not forgive mistakes. Even the slightest misstep could unravel everything. Elena nods, her fingers brushing the edge of the ledger. She senses the weight of responsibility pressing heavier than ever. The path leads them to a crumbling bridge over a mist-filled ravine. Elena halts, gazing down. This bridge hasn't been crossed safely in decades, she murmurs. Samuel steadies her with a hand on her shoulder, voice firm. Courage now matters more than fear. Trust in your strength, Elena. She inhales sharply, steps forward, and each footfall echoes across the wooden planks. The ledger vibrates lightly, sensing her resolve. Halfway across, a sudden tremor shakes the bridge. Elena clutches the ledger, eyes wide with alarm. Samuel steadies her, voice urgent. Hold steady. Focus on the magic, not the fear. Elena closes her eyes, whispering, I can control it. I must control it. The ledger's glow strengthens, roots from the cliffside rising subtly to support the bridge. For the first time, Elena feels the ledger responding to her will, a small but vital triumph. Crossing complete, they reach a cliffside ledge overlooking a valley veiled in fog. Elena's eyes scan the horizon. The ledger, it's guiding me somewhere, she says softly. Samuel studies the fog-filled valley, voice low. What you seek may not wish to be found easily. Elena tightens her grip on the ledger, chest rising with determination. She steps forward, ready to face whatever trials lie ahead, knowing the weight of the magic and the price it demands. From the mist, a faint silhouette emerges, an ancient temple partially crumbled, hidden for centuries. Elena whispers, This is it, the source. Samuel nods, caution shadowing his features. Elena steps forward, feeling the ledger pulse like a heartbeat in sync with her own. Every instinct warns her of danger, yet determination propels her. She breathes deeply, whispering, I will face it, whatever the cost. The valley seems to exhale, the air thick with anticipation. Elena steps into the ancient temple, the walls pulsating with faint magical runes. Her heartbeat quickens as she senses the power concentrated at the center. Samuel whispers, Stay alert. This is where it all begins. Shadows twist unnaturally, and the air hums with latent energy. Elena grips the ledger tighter, murmuring, I must control it, or it will consume me. Every step feels heavier as if the temple itself resists her presence. A faint voice echoes, repeating forbidden words she cannot yet understand. At the temple's heart, a stone pedestal radiates a blinding light. Elena approaches cautiously, feeling the magic tugging at her mind. Samuel warns, the cost of using it could destroy you. Elena closes her eyes, taking a deep breath. I've come this far. I cannot turn back now. The ledger hums, its glow merging with the pedestal's light. A surge of energy ripples through her, testing her willpower and resolve. The temple trembles as the forbidden magic acknowledges its new wielder. Suddenly, dark tendrils of magic surge from the pedestal, attempting to envelop Elena. She cries, No, I control you. The ledger glows brighter, absorbing the energy. Samuel shouts, Focus, Elena, channel it, don't resist blindly. Elena feels every fiber of her being pulled by the force, yet her determination grows. With a scream of effort, she directs the magic, turning the destructive energy into a luminous barrier around her, a manifestation of her will. The temple quakes violently, stone fragments falling. Elena steadies herself, feeling the magic responding to her will, yet whispering secrets of unimaginable cost. Samuel shouts over the roar. The ledger chooses its master, but beware its price. Elena, voice firm, replies, I accept it. I will bear the cost to save those I love. A radiant burst of energy erupts, banishing the lingering dark tendrils. Silence follows, broken only by her rapid breathing and the soft hum of the ledger. With the dark magic subdued, Elena steps toward the temple exit. Sunlight breaks through the clouds above, illuminating the valley below. She breathes deeply, feeling the weight of the magic she now commands. Samuel nods, relief evident on his face. Elena whispers, I survived. But the cost will linger. The ledger dims slightly, now a trusted companion rather than a threat. They step into the valley, leaving the temple behind, a new chapter beginning with both hope and lingering uncertainty.